Mercedes-Cup 2018. Herzlich willkommen, unsere Jungrichter und Feinkinder. Herzlich willkommen aus Hamburg, M.Zverev. Herzlich willkommen aus Basel, Portugal.
And let it frame down. ATP. Gisela.
Ja, wie eben schon gesagt, Gisela Manske.
Just to remind you, we have an picture facing here together, okay?
Und sie hat jetzt einen Münzwurf vorgehängt, sobald die Spieler auch am Netz sind und am Netz entscheiden, wer mit dem Aufschlag beginnt, beziehungsweise der welche Seite
Gisela? Okay, gentlemen.
Well, go back then to the Weissenhof Tennis Club's centre courts, where we move on to our second match of the day. And once again, there's some German interest, but I'm guessing that the majority of the people who have made their way to centre court are here to see the man on our left in picture. It's Roger Federer, the #1 seed, against M.Zverev for a place in the last 8. The man in the chair for this one from Sweden, Mohamed Layani, getting some help with the coin toss. Now the traditional photograph. Big moment for that lady as well, meeting the legendary Swiss. Always receives a warm welcome wherever he goes, Roger Federer. Quite rightly too. It's really difficult to know where to begin when introducing Roger Federer. For a start, you'd really have to live somewhere extremely remote if you don't already know who he is. So instead, I'll start with M.Zverev. 30 years of age, currently ranked 54, with a career high of 25, which he reached last summer, July. Born in Moscow and moved with a family to Germany, but now living in Monte Carlo in Monaco. Standing at 6'3", 1m91, a lefty. He turned pro in 2005, now into his 14th year as a pro. Made it into the second round, having taken care of another veteran in Russian former top 10 player Mikhail Yuzhny, whom he put to the sword 7-6, 6-3. Otherwise struggled to hit the heights he experienced last campaign. A real challenge for him today, meeting someone he's faced 5 times, with Roger winning all 5 meetings. They met 3 times last year, last of which was at Wimbledon, where Federer won 7-6, 6-4, 6-4, and also met 2 more times on this surface in Halle, with Federer winning 7-6, 6-4 last year, and 6-love, 6-love back in 2013, something that Misha will not need reminding of. And here he is then, age 36. Now, Roger Federer, currently ranked number 2, but of course has been a long time number 1, held for a record total of 309 weeks. That number 1 spot, all told. Born in Basel, in Switzerland, still lives in the country, at least some parts of the year. Stands at 6'1", 185, right-hander, turned pro way back in 1998. Arguably the greatest player the game has ever seen, and the statistics back that bold statement up. 97 singles titles to his name since turning pro 20 years ago. A milestone that he recently marked with a star-studded party in Paris. Among those 97 titles, we can find 20 Grand Slams, 6 from Melbourne, 8 from Wimbledon, 5 from Flushing Meadows, and 1 from Paris. Astonishing figures, I'm sure you'll agree, but there's so much more to tell that it will probably take all evening. If we stick to the present, this year Roger opened his account with a win at the Aussie Open, where he beat, among others, Richard Gasquet, Thomas Berdych, Yon Chung, and in the final, Marin Cilic, in a grueling 5-setter, 6-2, 6-7, 6-3, 3-6, 6-1. His next outing was in Europe, in Rotterdam, where he once again went all the way, defeating the likes of Robin Haase, Philip Kohlschreiber, and in the final there, Grigor Dimitrov, 6-2, 6-2. Almost made it 3 out of 3 in his next tournament, which was the Masters 1000 event at Indian Wells. There he saw off Federico Del Bonis in his opener and bowled over Yon Chung and Borna Coric, en route to a final defeat at the hands of Juan Martín del Potro, who beat him 6-4, 6-7, 7-6, taking the final breaker to 2. His last outing was a disappointing defeat in Miami to Australia's Thanasi Kokkinakis back in March, and that marked his second defeat in a row, something that had not happened to him since 2014, in fact. The great Swiss made the decision to skip the clay court swing, including, of course, Roland Garros, a move he made last season as well, as he geared up for another crack at Wimbledon, which is why Stuttgart is important to him in terms of preparation, as the courts here are very similar to those in Southwest 19. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly Roger can get into the swing of things on the grass. Currently sitting on figures this season of 17 wins, 2 defeats, and his career numbers, wait for it, 1,149 wins and 252 defeats. How about that? And for those of you who are interested in prize money, and I'm sure you are, in total, this is doubles and singles, he's amassed an astonishing $116,222,182 US dollars, and that's just prize money alone. So that should keep him in milk for a while. And what about Misha then? Struggled to repeat his success from last year. This term he opened his account with a second round exit in Brisbane, losing to Michael Moe, and after a first round loss to Leo Meyer of Argentina in Sydney, he was unable to repeat his showing at Melbourne this year. He was stopped in the first round by the red-hot Yan Chung. First round curse continued for him as he lost in Montpellier to Benoit Paire, and in Rotterdam to Thomas Berdych, who finally broke the streak in Marseille as he beat Blaz Kavcic of Slovenia before falling to Karen Khachanov of Russia in the second round. He's currently 10-15 for the season, and 120 wins to 171 defeats in terms of career numbers, and on grass he's an even 23-23.